to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. In this episode, we're going to be speaking about one of the greatest and most successful football managers of all time. A man who has won everything. A man who has achieved possibly everything in British football. Of course, we're going to be speaking about the brilliant, the magnificent, the wonderful Sir Alex Ferguson. Just to let you know that this episode will be split into two parts, as Alex's story and career is so special and so phenomenal that we couldn't possibly wrap it up all in one episode. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and it inspires you even more with your football. Before we get into the episode, as always, it's time to do some messages and read some shout-outs. The first shout-out on this episode goes to one of our listeners in Israel, and that is Zuriel Sofa, who's aged 10. Zuriel's favourite team is Manchester United, and he would love for me to do an episode on anything to do with football in Israel. And he finishes his message with an almighty, a gigantic Soo! They're starting to become a bit of a theme. The next one says, "Hi Darren, my name is Monty and I'm 7 years old. I love football very much and I play for Appleton Hawks. I listen to you every night before bed and I really like the latest episode on Ronaldo. My team all listened to your podcast after you gave a shout out to our friend Rafferty. Please can you say hi to our Hawks team as we have moved up in our league and we are working very hard. Our coaches are the best too. Please do more episodes if you can. They make us very happy. From Monty." Well, thank you very much, Monty, and hello to everybody at the Appleton Hawks football team. I'm really glad that you're all enjoying the podcast and you're all listening, so that's great stuff. Good luck to you lot in your next games, and I hope that you keep on getting the wins. And the next one says, "Hi Darren, my name is Via. Please could you do an episode on Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard? I love your podcast. Thank you very much." And this one also ends with an almighty Zoo! And there's so many O's that if I keep going, it'll probably end in 2024. And the last one on this episode says, "Dear Darren, we are David and Fernando from Ecuador. We really like listening to your programme. Our favourite episodes are the ones on Neymar Jr. and Mbappe. Our favourite teams are Brazil and France. Can you please kindly make an episode on River Plata and an episode on the last star of Brazil, which is the last time Brazil won the World Cup? Cheers and keep up the great programme. Best regards, Fernando and David." Well, thank you very much, Fernando and David. It's great to know that we've got listeners all the way over there in South America. Please do share with your football-loving friends and those who you think will enjoy the podcast. Well, thank you to everybody this week who have sent their requests in, their messages and shout-outs. And if you want to do the same, then you can do so by sending an email to footballforkidspodcast@gmail.com. Right then, it's time to get into the episode about one of the greatest managers, if not the greatest manager of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson. On New Year's Eve in 1941, Alexander Chapman Ferguson was born in his grandma's house in Glasgow, Scotland. Alex grew up in Glasgow, a place which was sometimes not the easiest place to be. A place where he had to stick up for himself and his brother. Alex has many memories of these times and believes that his childhood in Glasgow is a big part of why he became a tough and successful football manager. Alex found football when he was younger, and it was a game that he fell in love with. Something which he says saved him. He called it his saviour. Alex and his brother Martin used to play football when they were younger, and they loved it. Their dad would watch them in as many matches as he could, and was really encouraging with them in their football. He would make sure they got to bed early the night before the game, and he made sure that they were always up for it and they were ready. Alex was a good footballer, and there were some clubs that were very interested in him, and he wanted to go full-time with his football. He wanted to make it as a full-time footballer, but his dad was not so keen. He would not let Alex go full-time with football. Alex had to learn some skills and did something called an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship is where a person learns how to do a job whilst getting paid for it. And the job which Alex went to do was to be a tool maker. Alex's dad said once you have done your apprenticeship, you can go full-time with your football. But until you've done it, no chance, Alex. When Alex was working and doing his apprenticeship, he was also playing for a club called St Johnstone's, and he had to travel to training 3 evenings a week. He would often work all day and then go training and then get home at 1:30 in the morning and then be up at 6 in the morning ready to go to work. To say that Alex put the work in and made some sacrifices is an understatement. However, Alex started to not be so focused at one point in his young career, and he was due to be playing the team which he supported, Rangers Football Club. Alex was due to be in the reserves, and for some reason he didn't want to play. He got his brother's girlfriend to call up the football manager and pretend to be his mum. His brother's girlfriend called up the football manager and told him she was Alex's mum and that Alex wouldn't be able to play because he had the flu. However, the football manager wasn't silly and he knew it wasn't Alex's mum. Alex ended up playing the game for St Johnstone's and he scored a hat-trick and became the first person to ever score a hat-trick against Rangers at the Ibrox, which is what the Rangers ground is called. It just goes to show that if you don't take opportunities, you'll never know what the outcome is. And Alex Ferguson once famously said, "You've got to take opportunities in life, especially the big ones, because you might only ever get one, and that could be the one that changes your life." Eventually, in 1967, Alex's boyhood dream came true. He was making a name for himself for being a top goal-scoring striker, a committed and hard-working player who never gave up. And the team which he supported as a youngster wanted to sign him. Rangers. Alex's dream had come true. In Alex's first season for his boyhood club, they missed out on winning the league by a short amount to Celtic, their biggest rivals. In Scottish football, the rivalry between the two Glasgow-based clubs is one of the biggest rivalries on the planet, and neither would ever want to lose to either team, no matter what competition or game. In 1969, Rangers played Celtic in a cup final that 132,000 fans packed into the stadium for, and Rangers got battered. Celtic won 4-0, and the Rangers fans were furious with Alex and his teammates. Alex left his boyhood team after that game and went to play for another Scottish team called Falkirk, a team who were no way near as good as Rangers, but it made Alex determined to come back better and stronger and be the winner that he knew he was. Alex said that when he left Rangers, he questioned the decisions of the manager and that he thought about being a manager himself. He thought it was something that he could do, something he could be good at. And after 17 years of playing football in Scotland, scoring 171 goals in 317 matches, it was time for Alex's next chapter. A chapter where there would be ups and downs, and he would go on to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, football manager of all time. How it happened, what happened, and the roller coaster journey will be on part 2. So remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about Football for Kids. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly, or pitchside, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.